Shalom everyone, I hope that you are all doing well. We have returned yet again for the part 2 of our philosophical shop a pop opera analysis by Jack Stauber. We left off last week on oatmeal, so now we just have oatmeal, coffee, and cheese that are last on the list. And yes, without further ado, let us continue.
Oatmeal.
Excuse me, could you please move your cart out of the way?
Yeah.
Thanks, pal. Now I'm not going to be able to have peas with my dinner this Wednesday.
You have your dinners planned out through this Wednesday?
If I could, I'd have my dinners planned out through the next decade. What, do you just eat when you're hungry or something? Wait, how long have you been talking?
Are you serious?
I don't have time to talk right now. I just sacrificed getting peas for...
Alright, so we can see that this person, which again, the character, as we were talking about last week, has the same appearance as you might think a bowl of oatmeal. We have his face, which is literally perfectly shaped as a bowl, and then his hair serves as the oatmeal. He is suffering from severe anxiety due to the fact that he is conflating his ability to keep a tight schedule on a routine with being able to control the sum of what it all is to be a human. This, of course, is a big mistake, as we spoke on last week. So let us continue. By no means am I saying that having a routine is a bad idea. It's actually a very good idea. But you have to consider everything within moderation. And you don't want to become so ridden or riddled with your ideals of routine to where you have an artisanal situation that you now have to deal with. Are you letting your things talk to you in excess?
Standing here. Bagels were explaining that the body's like a clock to you, and now I'm going to miss getting peanut butter because I had to assess what I missed just now.
Why don't you plan ahead of time for accidents?
I've been meaning to, actually, but I haven't got a minute for you to do it. There goes asparagus. God, what am I going to do for lunch Thursday?
It's a bit facetious what Jeff asks him. Like, why don't you make plans for the things that you can't foresee coming? It's like, you can't do that. And I wonder if Jeff was being purposefully facetious here and insinuating like, oh, you didn't plan for that? Like, there's no reason that you should try to plan for every single thing that could possibly happen. Yes, you do need to apply prudence if you intend to be a wise person, but you do not need to be overbearing in the process of understanding the infinite amount of scenarios in which you will need to be prepared for to the very minute detail. You cannot do that. You will never beat time. This relates sort of to the mess video from last week. So let us continue.
Plain oatmeal. Wow, a whole box of it isn't that expensive. 100 bowls of oatmeal. I wouldn't have to eat anything else for the rest of my life.
I could have oatmeal for breakfast, then oatmeal for lunch, oatmeal for dinner as well. At the sound of a bell, I could have oatmeal wake up and oatmeal brush my teeth, go to my oatmeal job.
So we see here, Jack is sort of making fun of the idea that you will abide by the exact same schedule and routine forever. And it's just not realistic. I mean, for some people it is realistic. So I take that part back. But you should be able to see that is just a totally vaporous existence. You need something different. You need some sort of spawn of excitement that will make your life your life. So, no, I don't, like, have you ever tried eating just one of the exact same thing over and over again? You will go insane. It's just not... It's not sane. So let's continue.
Oatmeal home, oatmeal sleep every day. My oatmeal routine.
Time is my master, keep everything clean.
Every day. My oatmeal routine. Life would have rhythm and maybe harmony.
Circumstance, the unexpected. How could I have known? Routine, is it you?
See, I love this part. Routine, is it human? I really like that. I mean, I don't want to spend too much time just on this part, but routine, is it human? Like, so obviously routine is human, but the real question is it natural? Is it artisanal for what life stands for? Life is an amalgam of chaos and order. It is a mix of the two. But my answer or interpretation is that routine is human. Because you see, routine is not the void of chaos. It actually guarantees chaos within a measurable destination, if you will. And that's why routine is a good idea. Because when you have routine, you have an order to the things that you are going to do in an orderly fashion. Now, within that order, something can go wrong, and that is chaos infiltrating your ideal time that you're spending. So something can go wrong within that routine, and that's fine. That's a lot better than just something happening to you out of nowhere. That's life happening to you instead of you happening to life, let's say. So that's never a good idea. Let's continue.
Molded in my ways, disaster. Routineless, I adapt to chaos faster. No master.
That's a good too. I like how he juxtaposes that. It's like routineless, I adapt to chaos faster with no master. And it's like, now, you don't want to, again, you do not want to have just no routine. That's just not a good idea. But you do want to be adaptable to the situation. You want to have high levels of plasticity. And so you can't do that by being rigid within your ideals. Okay.
Oh, here we go.
I like how he goes into the mystery flavor.
Next is coffee.
Very well done.
Ain't this place a godsend? Look at all this coffee, and they have all of it too. Oh my godsend.
So we see with her, she has a head that is shaped like a coffee mug. The head itself is the cup, and her ear is like the handle for the cup or mug. Very, very interesting. So let's continue. For this one, let us listen to what she's saying, yes, but let's more so look at Jeff's reaction. Let's look at the entire video and not think about just her. Okay, let's go.
And I tell you, godsend, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Anyways, my name's Arlene. I was just headed here from some volunteer work I was doing down in the next township over. God bless the volunteer work. Fantastic work. Horrible coffee they had there, though. My God, was it dirt water. Couldn't down more than 3 cups of it. Seriously, it was disgusting, really. I like to think coffee's kind of like art. Coffee is kind of like art. I gotta write that down. Can't you see that on a t-shirt or a...
Okay, so we can definitely see that coffee is her vice, let's say. It's her drug. But thing is, too, she's so addicted, like, she's literally talking to a random stranger about coffee. That's obsession. That is unhealthy. We can obviously see in this frame how uncomfortable Jeff is right now. So we have to wonder, maybe this scene in the film is Jack expressing how addicts make their, like, the persons who surround them feel. Okay.
Hello? Oh my God, did she just...
This is important.
Bumper sticker, if I can't come up with a catchy one-liner. Anyways, I do love the coffee selection they have here. Truly can't get enough of it. I don't really drink it as much as other people, but...
Do you see how Jeff begrudgingly gave her another sip? Because as she expressed, like, she's not herself without a good cup of coffee. And that's a harsh reality that some persons face, where it's like, this is their vice, but at the same time they need it, but they also don't need it. That's a whole another spiel. But I do have an interesting thought here for all of my Jack Stauber fans watching. Wouldn't it be interesting if this coffee lady is alluding to Opal's mother? Because let's think about it here. She's addicted to this drug, coffee, let's say, and she's making Jack really, really uncomfortable, and we've yet to uncover one of the main reasons why I think this yet. So actually, you know what? Let me continue, and then I'll come back to this theory.
But I'll tell you, if I don't have a good cup in the morning, I'm not myself. Wait, is that clock right? Oh my god, I forgot to pick my son up from daycare. How in the hell did that happen? Goodness, I am so confused right now. That is wild. That is just... Wow, they have hazelnut toffee light roast. I've never seen that before. Anyways, it's really nice to meet you. What'd you say your name was? What are you doing?
Okay, so she's neglectful. Now granted, she says she has a son, so I'm not saying that she's like actually Opal's mom, but it would be cool if this was like, I don't know, if this is like Opal's mother's friend or something, because she's totally forgotten to pick up her son from preschool. But what does she continue to do? She totally forgets it again because she's looking at hazelnut coffee light roast. Like, it's like, what? She's so fixated on her drug of choice that she is completely neglectful of all that is around her, all that is important. You would ask her, what kind of coffee was she instead of what kind of milk was she? So, interesting.
F? I gotta skedaddle, but I'll pray for your ears. God, I need a refill. I feel like everything is in slow motion right now.
So we have a incorrect conflation of what need is from her. I think that's interesting too. A lot of people think that they need the vices in order to survive. And by the way, this is my favorite song within the whole album. And I don't think I'm alone in saying that actually. But we'll see why.
Do I need it? Am I under control? Can I beat it? Wake up. If it swallowed me whole, would I see it?
I can make you feel.
I hate to pause throughout here, but everything about this song is just perfect. The beat is hard, and the music, the chorus is hard. He's singing just brilliantly. The introspection in the questions he's asking, like, do I need it? Like, am I becoming like this person? And you realize that too. Throughout the entire video, we notice that Jeff is learning from everyone's mistakes. And I'm going to swing back to this at the end of this video, but I believe that Jeff is actually a really, really wise character. But yes, do I need it? Am I under control by the vice, or am I taking control of the vice? And if it swallowed me whole, would I see it? Because, you know, there's a lot of denial in the process of becoming an addict or developing an addiction. And that's the unfortunate part with the coffee lady, because she was saying she doesn't drink coffee as much as other people, and you're just like, oh, well, that's a lie. But that's because she's in denial. She doesn't think there is a problem. So that's a very deep question. Would I see it if it swallowed me whole? And then the coffee's saying here, I can make you feel alive. And I love this because it's like the coffee or the drug itself, it's calling you, it's sending you love letters, it's enticing you. Just like we talked about on my lecture on the devil and how he operates within his contracts, etc. Because we have our own vices, our own wickedness, our own negative proclivities, and that string just gets tugged on. And drugs are notorious for this. And Jack just nails it with this musical beautifully. Let's continue.
I know, but do I need you to survive?
That's very good too. Let's listen to the wisdom of Jeff here. He's not destroying the idea. Like, you might, okay, so there's this concept of breaking an addiction, which is known as well, I don't know what it's known as, but essentially you cultivate hatred for the thing in which you are addicted to, and that is how you break it. And it's combative in nature, and the idea is to fight the addiction to the degree in which you disagree. You try your best to become the antithesis to the reasons for the addiction. And so the problem with that is you lack honesty, because you might think like, oh, I don't need it, or like just it's totally pointless. And it's like, no, because if that was the case, then you wouldn't be in this situation. You have to be realistic in your approach to fight addiction. You have to be realistic. And so Jeff is realistic here. He's listening to the love letters, let's say, of coffee, which is, I can make you feel alive. And he goes, I know, but do I need you to survive? That's profound. And we'll see here that the coffee actually doesn't answer the question. It just continues singing on. So let's continue.
Does it still matter which one?
Just a drip.
Just a sip.
Am I dumbfounded when I slip? I can't believe it.
Okay, see, that's another just beautiful one. Am I dumbfounded when I slip? You can see that this person who slipped in the coffee, he saw the puddle of coffee, yet he slipped in it anyway. And this is symbolism for drug addiction, in my opinion as well. Because sometimes you have that plug, or you have that store or the street that you go to, and these things that you can avoid in order to be enticed into doing wickedly. You could have avoided this. Are you going to be dumbfounded when you slip? Probably not. It was probably an intention based off of your subconscious. So again, that's also beautiful. Let's continue.
I can't believe this happened. Wow. French vanilla, I think I should sit this one.
Having problems with keeping up responsibilities. And that's how I know that this song extends beyond more than just coffee. People who have a coffee addiction probably they do, but it's not the main identifier of someone with a coffee addiction to struggle with overdue bills. That's something that's typical for just drug addicts in general, because when you are so addicted to something like drugs, you tend to neglect everything, just like the woman was earlier. And usually the first thing that you start to neglect is your responsibilities, because now your responsibility is to get high, not to pick up your son from preschool, unfortunately. So let us continue.
Maybe a cup of self-control would be the right. It's the flavor you want. Maybe so, but it feels better to check than to reflect.
My favorite lyric in the whole video. It's the flavor you want. And you notice something? The rebuttals that the coffee or the drug has for these logical statements that Jeff is bringing out, they're all weak. Like, he's talking about, do I need you to survive? And like, will I see my impending doom once it's there? Will I, like, maybe I should take a cup of self-control? And what does the coffee say? It's like, man, but it's the flavor. Like, it's like, that's not a good rebuttal, but it's effective. Because again, it's pulling on the string. And you have to be strong, very, very strong, to say what Jeff says. It's like, yes, but it feels better to check than to reflect. And that's very true. It's much better to have the humility, the patience, and the understanding to avoid something versus doing it with lack of prudence and having to reflect on the negativity that you've just indulged in later. So that's very, very important. Let us continue.
Yep.
Decaf. Very good choice.
Last thing on the list is cheese. Just cheese. That shouldn't be hard at all.
And now, a dark walk through the...
This is so important. I think this is actually the most important song because, okay, if we notice, so there's milk. He learned from the old lady's mistakes, or at least her experience. There was bread. He learned from the literal artisanal bread man and his experience. Then there was paper towels. He learned from the paper towel guy. Then he learned from the oatmeal guy. Then the coffee lady. But as we will see here, there is no character that Jeff learns from. This is the final boss of this whole video. And the final boss is none other than Jeff's indecisiveness. How do we know that? Let us continue.
5 aisles of grief.
This can't
Denial.
wait. There's more cheese to chew.
So I like this because you can see, you know, I'm going to do it here. We can see the colors shift with each aisle or 5 stages of grief. So, and I love, oh my goodness, the writing here, man. Some people may think it's corny, but I love it. This can't breathe. There's more cheese to choose than I can see. You to be kidding me? Like, this is just great, dude. Like, who's doing this? Jack is just brilliant. So, we've got Denial.
That I can't see. You do to be kidding.
So that's anger. Anger is red.
I make these decisions on my own. If I act better, it's someone else. So let
Bargaining.
me chatter. Or these blues permanent.
Depression.
Be okay, I'll look away and let the universe.
And acceptance. Or maybe even acceptance. Right. So I like that. I like the colors of choice. Denial is yellow. Yellow is typically used for cowardice. And then we had, what was it? It's denial. Anger, obviously anger is red. That's like for passion and heat. It's denial, anger, bargaining. Bargaining was green as far as like monetary transaction is concerned. If I act better, can someone else select my cheddar? And cheddar being money, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. What? It's amazing. Bargaining. What was the other one? Depression. Depression, blues, of course. I'm feeling blue. I'm feeling sad. And then acceptance being the end portion. And I think acceptance is green because one of the main ideas of humans accepting the idea of acceptance is because of nature. And nature has a lot of harsh realities within it, but you accept it because it's nature. It's going to happen. Just like a mess is going to happen. Just like chaos is going to happen. But you have to accept that process. You see, I think the other persons on this list, maybe that's interesting. What if each person or each character that Jeff encountered throughout the length of this video is going through one of the 5 stages of grief or aisles of grief? Like the coffee lady would be denial. I don't know though, because denial could also be for the oatmeal man. And then who else? The lady, the old lady. What would she be? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. That's a cool idea. What if each, because there's 6 items on the list. There's 5 aisles of grief. The 6th item is cheese, and that's referring to Jeff. So perhaps each other character fits one of the 5 aisles. Very interesting stuff. Okay. You know, just for the fun of it, let's do something different here. I've never... Oh, no, not that one. Nice. Okay. Let's continue. Oh, sorry. Jeff says, I'll be okay, I'll look away, and that's his acceptance. And he says, I'll let the universe say. And then he just grabs, right? Let's see what he grabs.
Dairy-free maple coconut water cheese. I could have picked something better than that.
I could I trust I would pick something better. My choice is a decision I made to be a good go-getter. Inspire some dust, your old man needs something new. It's mango. Coffee moderation, life is messy and medicine.
I know what
Very
I want to
well
try.
done. Okay.
Strawberry, please.
You see right there, the strawberry, whatever it is, that Jeff is getting. This is the same item that he was supposed to get from the beginning. Does that not look like his hair? Looks like his hair. That's great. So Jeff follows suit with all of the other characters' theme of looking like the item of their list. Well, at least on his list. So Jeff was finally able to go through all of the 5 hours of grief, go through all of the characters' experiences, and cultivate it into a sound wisdom so he can go back and be decisive.
This is amazing.
He reaps the fruits of his labor. Isn't that great? That's awesome. That was kind of, see that, reap the fruits of his labor with strawberry. Oh, that was cool. Okay, so that's awesome. Now let's watch how the man reacts.
The other one? No. That's alright.
See, I love this because Jeff doesn't allow this guy to steal his joy. You know, there's a type of absurdity to this whole video. I understand that. But I love, because it's like life. What Jeff did is he went through one whole experience of going into a grocery store and was able to find deep, philosophically rooted life lessons that he was able to utilize for his advantage in self-development through means of introspection, questioning, and the desire to be better, and optimism and patience. Jeff is great. Jeff is a wise guy. Let's continue the final statement.
Good.
That was good. Awesome. Okay, so that concludes. I'm so apologetic that this video took so long, to get around to, but we finally did it. We're finally here, and I liked it. I really enjoyed this. If you guys have any other video recommendations, as you guys know, I do love to do critical analysis on content that I find interesting, or content that you guys find interesting and you are interested in hearing my thoughts about it. So, with that, I yield and I fare thee well. I've got some exciting things coming this channel's way, and we're going to read the scripture of the day or the week. This is Ephesians chapter 1 verse 7. This is not the King James Version. It says, "In him we have redemption through his blood, the forgiveness of sins in accordance with the riches for the Most High's grace." Of the Most High's grace, excuse me. So, I hope that brings some edification to the body, as usual. And yes, with that I yield and I fare thee well. I hope that you guys really enjoyed this video. I sure did. I look forward to hearing and seeing your thoughts in the comment section. And please like, subscribe, share, all of that YouTube jazz. Hope that you guys stay safe, stay dangerous, and as always, be wise. Shalom.